Hey guys, Dr. Josh here. I want to talk about brain-derived neurotrophic factor. I know, if you're still with me, BDNF has been associated with increases in spatial awareness and decreases in cognition time, and it's also been associated with, when there's reduced amounts of it, changes in cognition. And so the really neat thing is that it is released in response to exercise. And so when I tell you that we have a chemical that we've identified, made by the brain, stored in the brain, that when you do exercise consistently, it's secreted to keep your brain young, to clean up damaged parts of the brain. And when I tell you that its loss or decreased amounts of it have been associated with changes in cognition and stuff like Alzheimer's, that's a big deal. When we put that into our hands to be able to exercise, it's an even bigger deal, right? The problem is that it's often been associated, at least in the earlier studies, with interval training. And some people are like, man, I'm not going out and doing wind sprints all day long. So these guys in this study, they just looked at the RCTs and they did a big meta-analysis, they did a systemic regression, they did all these cool stuff. What they found was that regular, moderate exercise also stimulates the release of BDNF. Why should you care? You should care because some days you don't have time to do wind sprints. You don't have time to climb trees. But you always, always, always have the intention of increasing brain function, of staying mentally as young as you can for as long as you can. And so in this meta-regression, what they've been able to determine is that regular, moderate exercise will do the job. We get that stuff secreted. What's a great example? Well, if you just like to walk, let's say you're walking for 20 minutes, 1 minute of every 4 minutes or every 5 minutes, you can walk a little bit faster, and that'll get you there, right? So over the course of 20 minutes, you have four 1-minute intervals. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Going a little bit harder and then back to baseline, a little bit harder, back to baseline. Those types of changes are going to stimulate your brain, right? It's a newer study. A lot of the people in these studies were healthy young men, so take it with a grain of salt. The most important thing that I want you taking away with this is that in your exercises, some type of increase to a moderate level and then backing it down to a regular level. Or weight training, right? A more intense style of body weight exercises will do. I just want you to be aware, it's not just the physical activity that keeps your brain young. There are definable enzymes, there's definable molecules that are being secreted by your brain to help you stay young and active. These people that we're raising need us. We have to stay around as long as we can. Exercise is a great way to do it. Not just for the cardiovascular health, not just for the bone density, not just for the hormone regulation, not just for the metabolic regulation, but also for brain regulation, okay? If you have any questions about it, we can talk about it in the office.